Virgo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to Frequency Real Radio for your reading. I'm going to label this reading December, but this is actually, it's getting towards the end of November. I don't even want to say mid-November because today is the 20th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Who the hell knows anymore? But anyway, I'm going to label it December, but you can take it from here through December, and hopefully I will be back sometime around this time in December to kind of finish it out for you. Or if I don't get to do like the end of December 20th and after, I'll try to come back and do a mid-December since we're still in November for you. So I always say with the tarot, the energy's right on time. So don't really let the time frames concern you too much, because you're going to know what's playing out in your life, what's not, what energy pertains to you and what doesn't. So I'm your host, Madam X, and I got something a little exciting for you Virgos this month. Because I didn't really get to you in November, from the 1st to the 20th of November, I said, I got to do something special for my Virgos because, number one, I have a lot of Virgo in my chart. After Cancer and Pisces, Virgo is the next strongest energy in my chart. I have a stellium in Virgo in the house that I basically rule when being a double Cancer in my fourth house. So I have 3 planets in Virgo in the 4th house, which Cancer rules, and I'm a double Cancer rising and sun, Pisces moon. And then, I love my Virgos, and I have a deck that I have really been waiting to use. I've been caught up in doing the other readings. I had another deck that I was really liking, my little Tarot, the Complete Kit deck, so I didn't get a chance. Just after doing like the regular love readings and then a month before doing general readings, I didn't have time to come back and do a third reading for every sign. As you can see, I didn't get to you and Leo, which I thoroughly apologize for, but I'm going to make up to it by using my Menara deck. The Menara deck is a very erotic deck, so this is a sex and love relationship reading. It's primarily going to focus on your sex life, wants, desires, and things like that of a carnal, of a sexual nature. I'm going to put the cards on the screen. Hopefully I can find all the cards. If not, take pictures and everything like that. So I'll put the cards on the screen so you can see them as you hear me shuffling in the background. And let me go ahead and do a parental advisory now. We are grown-ups. I appreciate everybody who watches the videos, but sometimes it's just time for grown-up time. And this is one of those times. So Virgo, they call you the Virgin of the Zodiac. That's your little glyph. That's the little, picture that represents Virgo. Ooh, I'm dropping cards everywhere. Virgo, what are you doing? See, I know I'm dropping these cards because of what I'm about to say about Virgo. They call you the Virgin, but it's really funny. I was telling some friends the other night that what they say about the signs, those symbols and everything that represent the signs are usually what I find that the sign has the most challenge with. For example, Cancer, it's a sign of the crab, the hard outer shell with the soft inner shell. A lot of times Cancers have issues, with being that hard on the outside and soft on the inside and with their emotions. Libra is a sign of balance. Most Libras got an issue with being damn balanced. You'll find a lot of unbalanced Libras. Like Virgo the Virgin. Y'all asses ain't no damn virgins. Virgos like to get it in, and Virgos can be some downright stone cold freaks. So I just find it really funny that the signs and the symbols that represent each sign, it's usually what I find to be that sign's challenge. So, life, astrology, and tarot is just funny that way. Let me make sure I didn't not pick up any cards because I'm sitting at this chair. And I want to make sure nothing went under the chair. I want to knock my glass table over. All right, so I've used this deck in personal, with other things, but I haven't used this on camera yet. So, and I haven't used it in a minute, because I don't know if people are ready for these. So I like really, really erotic decks. I have the romance deck that I use in the love reading, but this reading right here ain't really about love. Like I said, this can play into your love relationships. I'm going to put love in the title, but I'm going to start it off with sex because this is really more of a sexual or carnal nature. And I'm kind of in the dark. I'm going to give myself just a little bit of light. Oh, I don't want too much light. Let me sit this lamp somewhere else. And I'm just shuffling your cards because I really want to get them good. And if you guys are interested in this deck, go and check it out. It's the Menard deck. And there's a few more decks, sexual tarot decks I want to get, because most people concerns in their life, if it isn't money, it's like love, relationships, and sex. And I mean, we all had to get here some way or other, so let's not pretend that most of us don't love sex. So, all right, I'm just going to shuffle it a few more times. Just give me a few more times. These cards are pretty new. I've had them for about a couple of months. So, they kind of slipping and sliding. They shuffle really good. Let's see. And get some fresh energy. So, I'm going to lay 3 cards because these are general tarot readings. You might want to check your moon and your rising. These are just general for all of the people watching. So if you need something personal, I'm going to have my website link below. So you just want to hit me up, purchase a reading. If it says something's going to ship out to you, it's not going to ship out to you. I'm going to contact you, or I'll be replying back to set up your reading. I'm going to get a calendar, try to get a calendar and all of that integrated into the website. But until I do that, when you make the purchase, I'll be contacting you back to see, what's best for you and how you want to do it. Do you want to do phone? Do you want to do you want a video reading sent to you, whatever the case. So however, I really don't have an issue. However you guys want your reading, I'm pretty much down to do it that way. So Virgo, do you have some heavy sexual energy going on right now? You kind of horny or something, Virgo? I don't know. Got a lot of sexual energy going on? I don't know. So let's see. Let me just take these stones that I had on me. All right. Do that. Let me move. All right. I'm just putting the stones that are going to be appropriate. All right. So I'm going to do 3 cards. I want to see the overall theme that's going on. And then I want to see everything else. And with these, I'm going to give you the interpretations. They came out in reverse, but because this is a new deck I'm working with, I'm going to give you the interpretations however they come out for me, and I'll see if I'll kind of give you the reverse energy. Oh, these are sliding everywhere, which is kind of perfect for a sexual deck, erotic deck. So I'm going to give you the interpretations from what I get from the cards. So what you got, Virgo, kind of overall how you're feeling and what's going on in the sex life, the erotic life of the Virgo. You got the World. So it's the World card, the El Mundo card. And that's represented by Saturn. That's a Saturn card. Then you got the 3 of Air. So just different sides of the situation. Different sides, different things that are going on in the sexual realm with you, Virgo. You have the 3 of Air, which is Saturn and Libra energy. And then you got the 8 of Air, which is Jupiter and Gemini energy. So let's see what's going on, Virgos. A lot of Saturn. You got Saturn in 2 of the cards. So I feel like a lot of things that are going on right now as far as your sex life, you may be learning some lessons, things that you may have thought you were done with, issues you thought you conquered when it comes to the sex life, even sexual demons. One second. Even sexual demons, things like that, sexual issues with the sex life. Even when it comes to things like your yearnings and your wants, things like that. You really just trying to deal with getting away from those sexual demons, I feel like, Virgos. But are you giving into those things? You really want, with this 3 of Air, talks about Saturn and balance. Whether you want to balance out the sexual energy or not, Saturn and Libra are going. Saturn is going to bring the lessons, and Libra is asking you to balance out some of this sexual energy, because when you start off with the world, which is the number 11 card. So the one and the one, it's two, it's the one. It's really about the self feeling like you're on top of the world. It's like you just want to go on this almost sexual sabbatical. It's like you've reached a certain point. You may feel like you're accomplished to a certain level, and you just want to take your sexual nature by the hands and just do what you want to do. The card is a woman on top of the world. So it's almost like a woman riding the world. So it's like saying you want to ride the world with your vagina, or I can't even use those proper words. Like you want to ride the world with your pussy or your dick. Like you want to be on top of the world and wield that thing around like no holds barred. It just speaks of a person who is sexually in control, who has things in control. But I see that's the challenge where you want to get to, Virgo, because right now with the two other cards, the 3 and the 8, they are both swords cards. As we know now, this deck is very different from the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. It has different symbolisms and everything like that on the deck. So that's why I want to put the pictures up so you can see it. As you strive to conquer the world and really take your eroticism and take hold of your sexual nature and you be the boss of it, because the woman is like a cowgirl riding the world. So it's like, you know how when you imagine the old westerns and things like that, it's like the cowboys are the bandits. They are the lawless. They take the law into their own hands. So you may really be doing some things and just getting buck wild when it comes to a sexual nature and really wanting to. But I feel like you've gotten to a place where you've learned some things, you've been through some things, and you're pretty accomplished, and you feel like you can go out there and just really wield it around and control your sexual nature. But what's stopping you from doing that, and what cautions you about doing that, is Saturn. Like I said, that's a Saturn card. So whatever you do of a sexual nature, you are going to learn a lesson. There are lessons going to be taught. So you want to be careful about how you use that energy. And Saturn does rule the sign of Capricorn, which is another earth sign. So in the cards, I see you guys could be dealing with, I'm just going to throw out a few signs that you could be dealing with. You could be dealing with Capricorns. You could be dealing with Libras. You could be dealing with Sagittarius, because the 8 has the Jupiter and the Gemini on it. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, and you could be dealing with a Gemini. So maybe those are some of your partners or the people that you're sexually involved with. So the 3 of air. Traditionally, threes speak of a three of air. If you picture the traditional Rider-Waite card, that would be the 3 of swords. So the 3 of air speak of, in this card, being alone. Masturbating with the self, spending time with the self, maybe being unpleased sexually, which is causing you to seek outside gratification through other partners, other sexual conquests, sexual excursions. But this 3 of air card just has a woman, and she's kind of holding her vagina, her private part, and she's just like yearning. It's almost like a yearning. It's almost like burying a deep desire. And that 3 is an imbalance. It comes from an imbalance. It comes from something happening, probably going through a dark time, or going without, or being on the outside of a situation, not getting proper attention, that has really got you yearning of a sexual nature, to have your needs fulfilled, to have those pleasures. You know what I mean? You have been self-fulfilling, but you really need that touch of other people, that touch of another human being, that touch of another woman or another man, or whatever you are into. But this just speaks, it's like a dark card, and it just speaks of being alone with one's sexual natures, one's sexual desires, and really not being able to get those things off, to get it on, to express it. You know what I mean? To have that climax, to have that sexual intimacy that you so need. And when we move over to the 8 of air cards with the Jupiter and the Gemini speaks of duality. And Jupiter is an expansion. So what I see is you having different natures, Virgo, and that growing sexual desire, that growing lust, You trying to get away from what does not satisfy and running towards what's satisfying, wearing two faces, wearing two masks. It really is expanding, and it's almost like your sexual nature wants to explode. You know what I mean? Because you really need to find someone to let it off with, some way to really satisfy your true desires that maybe you can't tell your partner about. Maybe you have to wear one mask at home and you're really another person when you aren't at home. Because in this card, you see like this this bandit kind of character. He's a scary sort of character, and he's chasing this woman, and she's a sexy woman. She's got her bosom out. You can see her nipples are hard, her cleavage is open, and she's running from this ghost. He's not a ghost, but he is like, if you can imagine like the Indians from back in the day, or the pictures that you see of Indians where they just are wearing the feathers and they've got this paint on their face and they're like the really scary looking characters. That's what she's running from. So she's running from desire. She is running from those inner demons. She is running from the sexuality. But when you look at her clothes and you look at how her breasts are exposed, it's like she really wants it, but she's running from it. And but the desire is just creeping up on her, and it's just becoming more real, more exacerbated, more intense. And in the back, you could just see these figures, like these dark figures. One guy looks like to the left, looks like he kind of has a gun in his hand. And when you think of a gun, you can think of the phallus symbol, the dick, the penis, a gun kind of shooting off. And then on the other side, there's like this cloaked, almost witchy looking figure with their face hidden and their crows in the card. So it really speaks of a deep hidden desire where you feel trapped by it, like it's all consuming, like it's taking over you. And the Gemini definitely speaks of duality and having to show two different faces. And Jupiter is just expanding that desire. It is just expanding that dark part of yourself that you're really trying to run from. So let me see if I can give, let me see what was on. I'm trying to see if I'm going to give you what's on the bottom. I'll give you what's on the bottom of the deck just to give you some guidance, because that may tell what's going on in your sexual life. But I don't want you to leave Virgo without having like something to give you a little guidance. So on the bottom of the deck is the Magician. And this card, I'm telling you, these cards are so deep. It's so many different things that are going on in these cards that you just really have to look at them and have to see what's going on. And the Magician in the card is El Bagato. It's the Magician, and it represents Mercury. And what that means is you have the power to create whatever sex life, whatever fantasies, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you need in your desires to get yourself off, to be satisfied. You have the power to create that in your life. There doesn't have to be a duality. You don't have to mask yourself. You don't have to hide yourself. If you're doing that, that's because those are the situations you got yourself into. Saturn, you have heavy Saturn cards. Saturn speaks of karma. Saturn rules Capricorn, which is also, I want to say, Scorpio is the 8th house. But with Saturn ruling Capricorn, that is also the representation in the traditional tarot of the devil. So that could be talking about deep, dark desires. On this Magician card, the woman in the card, she's almost naked. She has like on a little overcoat that's buttoned with one button in the middle. But she is creating this monster of a machine. It looks like a big, huge crocodile, and she's working on the penis. She's like sculpting this penis, designing this penis. She is putting together this penis on this creation that she's making. So whether it's a sex machine, whatever it is that she needs, she is putting this together. And it's like she has the screwdriver and she's about to take it right to the penis to do whatever she needs to do. I don't know if she's trying to plug the hole. I don't know if she is what kind of work she's doing on the phallus of this creation that she's making. But you get the sense that she is making this for her. She is going to do something with this. And what it tells me is you have to dig into your sexual nature. So whether you are a woman or a man, You have a penis or you have a vagina. You have to dig into your sexual nature, find out what you like, find out what pleases you, and create that in your own life. If you have a partner, you need to tell your partner about it. If you don't have a partner, learn to satisfy yourself. So, it's funny because she's designing this thing and it's like she's going to plug the hole of the penis on the magician card. But at the same time, the woman in the three of air, it's like she wants to go to town and play with herself, but she something's holding her back. Whether it's past hurts, past things, maybe somebody told you, no, that's wrong. Or maybe it's against whatever beliefs you have. But in the magician card, she is going to satisfy herself. She is going to use all her communication and all her tools to build this thing that satisfies her. And she's got her hand around the penis of this creation that she's making. So what that tells me, and she's about to dig into it. So if you're a woman, you need to learn how to satisfy yourself, what makes you happy, what pleases you. Because if you want to take your take the sexual reins in your relationship or in your life by the horns and just go full force at it, you need to learn how to please yourself so you don't waste a lot of time spending it with people who don't please you. Maybe you need to tell someone how you need to be pleased. Maybe you need to open up these desires that you're trying to hide in the Eight of Swords card and release those desires to your partner. Release them on someone who can do all of those freaky things, who can let you do all of those nasty things, Virgo. Get into all of that stuff with you that you really like to get into. But first you got to know how to please yourself. So I definitely recommend masturbation, whether you're a woman or you're a man, so you know what pleases you, so you can really teach your partner how to please you. I mean, life is short. There's no point to go through it sexually unsatisfied or to have two different lives, trying to be one person. If you're in a relationship, trying to be one person to that partner and then another person when you're out in the streets, or to other people that are in your life, or maybe there's somebody else you feel like you can get really freaky with. But you really can have it all if you are expressive about your inner desires and even about your inner sexual demons that you want to talk about, because Saturn is all about karmic lessons, the devil learning to face those desires, so then you aren't chained to them, because you're never really chained to them. You're only chained to them because you facilitate being trained to them. You in the mind, you're trained to them. In your mind, you're chained to them. So physically, the chains still exist. You don't have to have on physical chains to be trapped by something. If your thoughts are what you are, and if you think that you're chained to something, or you can't get rid of habits, or you can't conquer certain things, or even have certain things, then you won't. So Virgo, I hope you like this sex reading. Next is going to be Leo. I'm going to do one for you as well because I didn't do it. And then if I have time, I will do the sex readings for the rest of the signs. So for the rest of the signs, it's either going to be the love and relationship reading or the sex reading. Guys, I'm just really realizing at the end of this reading that I'm talking fast. No, I'm not rushing off to do anything. It's just what happens. I am sorry. If you need to slow it down, if you need to repeat, I just got taken away by these cards. They are very interesting to me, and they speak pretty clearly about a lot of things that are going on in your erotic life. So Virgos, I hope you enjoy and get it on safely. Deuces. Thanks for listening to Frequency Real Radio, guys. Till next time.